Welcome back in, y'all. Today we are discussing episodes 7 through 9 of season 8 of Love is Blind. We are Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all of your favorite TV shows. I am Victoria. I am a psychologist out of New York.
I'm Kamaria. I am a attorney in the DC area and a pop culture writer.
I'm Chi Chi. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist based in London with a virtual presence in Virginia.
Make sure you follow us and hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned with all of our episodes as we recap this season of Love is Blind. So overall, y'all, before we get into these couples and all this tea, what do we think about this drop of episodes?
I was surprised that it was so boring still in the beginning. Like, I really expected them to come with the drama. Like, they were just, we had pod episodes and now we're going to have drama episodes. But I think, like, whatever they're doing with the editing, like, they think we want to watch the love story unfold. And it's like, no, we're here for the drama. Like, that's all we're here for is the drama. But we want, like, a love match to be in the drama. But, like, we watch for the drama. I mean, I don't know. Like when they showed us that conversation about what was the Joey's OCD and talking about when his index finger touched, I said, come on now. Do y'all think we really like want to listen to a conversation about his index finger? These conversations are boring. So that's my first initial reaction.
I was gonna say I think we are hard to please because I think right, like after last season or even after a few of the seasons, right, like when we get all of these couples who don't make it, we're like, where is the love? Like this is supposed to be Love is Blind, and we over here bashing the show saying it don't work, it don't work, it don't work. And now they showing us couples that might work out, and we over here like, where is the drama? So I
We
think
want
like,
both.
please, y'all.
We want
drama
both.
and
No,
love.
I'm a fan of the show. I acknowledge that we are hard to please, but they switched the formula up this season. I that's my take on it. I think they switched something up.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's not enough movement. Like,
I will say the conversations are like boring. Aside from it doesn't need to be dramatic, but they're quite boring. I think the couple's maybe a little uncomfortable with the cameras, or I don't know what it is, but they're not like really like getting into conversation. It's like, oh, we're surprisingly getting along well. Like, oh wow, it's really easy. Should it be this easy? It was just so many conversations about how easy it was for them to like transition from the pods to like going on this honeymoon. So yeah, it's like I enjoy the fact that actually I think several of them may work out. Like they seem like they're good matches, but it is kind of boring to watch.
Yes, you are right, Chi Chi. Everything was we're comfortable. It's just easy. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
at this point, we know this is scripted and you're asking them to say this over and over again because they keep saying it over and over and over again.
Wait,
that's
it's
what I would
scripted?
say. I mean, not scripted, but like some
Yeah.
some some of the things, like I wonder like how they're orchestrated,
Uh,
because like
yeah.
even like we'll get into the couples. I guess we can move into that now. But like with Ben and Sarah, like some like that conversation felt like, oh my God, like when she saw the text message, or not the
Oh
text message, but
yeah.
the girl's video, I was
I
like,
did post it.
and even thinking back to last season, Ashley and Tyler, not that I would forget his name, but Ashley and Tyler, like their conversation, they talk about how they had the conversation already and then they had to have it on camera. So that's what I think
Yeah.
happens a lot is like, there's like, they've already had this moment, but it needs to be on camera. So it's really a second take at it to be on.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's dive into it. What do you like? Who are you all's top couples so far?
I actually like the girl, Daniel and Taylor. We had them at the bottom and now, they at the top to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I like them as well. I also think Monica and Joey are a good match. I even think Virginia and Devin might be
I
a good match
agree.
as
Mhm.
well. So yeah,
Mhm.
this might be a good coupling.
So what are your thoughts on Dave and Lauren? Because they are the weakest link.
First of all, when they were on a little honeymoon escape, and all Dave kept doing was asking everybody, "So, are you having sex? Are you having?" And then he's
Ah,
asking women at
You
that.
said then
Like,
he was what?
he's asking the women, why are you
Yeah, yeah.
about their sexual encounters with their
yeah.
fiance?
I thought that
mean
was very weird too, and I also thought it was very telling about where he was with all of it. And like he was just all like, I'm totally, it's her, well, you know, she's okay, but it's gave. I'm itching to do this, and she's not, and like I'm just trying to see, am I tripping, or are these other women also not giving it up? Like that's what he was giving me.
Mhm. Yeah,
Absolutely.
he was definitely trying to feel the vibe to see, like, are we the only ones here not having sex? But, like, as soon as they met up and she was like, "I went get my nose done, but I got a wax," and the lady told me I couldn't have sex or I couldn't take a shower, and I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, here we go." Like, that was her sly
Lying.
way. Right. She was trying to, like, slide her way into saying, like, "Oh, we can't have sex." And I was like, "I ain't never heard anything about having a wax not being able to have sex."
No, they do say that though.
Exactly.
Actually, she's not
Oh, they
lying.
do?
She's not lying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
So,
I
but
heard
I
the work
do.
out, but
But
I've never heard you can't have sex
no,
after.
no, no, no. That
Yeah, I
like
heard you can't work out.
no, yeah. So I've heard all of that. Like I'm not that I am a regular waxer because I'm not, but I do have a membership to a waxing salon. It's whatever. But they tell what I've heard very consistently is you can't have sex, you can't get in pools or hot tubs, can't go to the gym because it's about this sweating. Yes, it's about the sweat. It's about the bacteria and the fact that like your pores are open, and so it needs a
Mhm.
second for them to close, so you're susceptible to infection, so they ask you to not have sex because of that sweating or whatever, and the transfer of bacteria or infections or whatever in that area. So but even being someone who is familiar with waxing, like when she said that, I was like, I wrote down in my notes, Lauren's lying ass. Like, because
Mhm.
I knew I could feel the vibes that she's just using this as an excuse to
Mhm.
not like have sex with him. And she's not being forthcoming and saying like I'd like to wait. She just wants to be like, no, I'm the cool girl who wants to have sex. Yeah, I'm totally am.
Right.
But I can't because she's
Right.
not supposed to be in the pool. And when she got in that pool, I was like, ding, 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 look at this girl.
Yes,
I
Look at
and
this
know.
also
girl.
too, it's only, like, for the first, like, 24 to maybe 48 hours,
Yes.
so
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We down
I knew
like
she
day of
was
the
using
week.
it as an excuse. I don't know, she just didn't tell him like, "Oh, I wanna, like, slow down." Like, I don't wanna but it was like she had to use this, like, weird thing, and then she was, "But I totally wanna do it," right? Like, "I totally
Yeah.
wanna I'm upset too." And I was like, "No, you're not." Like, you're not that upset. You're probably also not the only girl that got a wax and then had
Sure.
sex.
I feel like if you're a regular waxer, you would already have known that. And then I feel like if you weren't a regular waxer, I don't feel like you would just all of a sudden be like, oh, first time waxing. Right before this, I would just do what I knew. I do
Right.
my stuff that I
Mhm.
knew kept it right, and I wouldn't try no new shit. Like, so I just
Right.
all around, I was like, this girl ain't right.
Do you think that's why, like, he is putting up such a fuss about, like, this past ex or potential ex that she had right before coming on the show? I'm like, I don't even understand why this is a big deal. I really don't get it.
Cause
Yeah.
it's just a lie. That's how I feel. I feel like there's something he's trying to give himself an exit door. That's what I feel.
Yes.
Like yeah, I don't like Lauren that much, but I'm like, girl, run. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Yeah, so with that situation, I guess Dave has a friend who is affiliated or somehow knows someone that Lauren was involved with casually, allegedly, before coming on the show. Lauren was saying they hadn't been together. The most time frame she gave was a week.
Mhm.
And Dave's friend are telling Dave, no, it was like the day before she came on that she was with this guy. Okay. Another issue is I'm with Lauren. Why can't I speak to your friends and your sister about this? Everybody who's
Right.
talking about me, I can't be involved in the conversation. I'm sitting here like, Lauren, Dave don't even want to protect you because he
Yeah.
ain't even trying
Mhm.
to stick up for you. He ain't trying to get you involved in the conversations. We don't even know if these conversations are happening.
Are real, yes. It gives me that I heard this one thing and I'm blowing out of proportion, and I don't want them to be here to expose that they don't have a big issue about it. They just heard it, they passed it along,
Mhm.
and I'm really the one who's making a big deal out of it. Because they could have literally said, like, oh, I heard she was dating such and such beforehand. And then he's letting them be the scapegoat for his own
Mhm.
feelings. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I don't even
Yeah.
think his feelings are genuinely like he's concerned about it as much as they're a mask for something else he is concerned about, either like their vibe or how she looks or whether he just wants to keep the door open for Molly. Like, I think it's double a subterfuge, like it's a double lie on top of the lie. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think these people are that concerned about this in the way he's painting it out.
I agree. I don't think it's as deep as what he's painting it, because it's not making any sense. He's like, "Oh, you came here to find love." Everyone is looking for love. That doesn't mean that you're still not having casual encounters with people until you may come across someone that you have, like, you find
Yeah.
a connection with. So why can't she be going on dates up until she comes onto the show? She could have
Right,
easily not even made a match on the show, and then afterwards still went back to one of these connections. And so I'm like, you're trying to make something out of nothing. And I feel like he just doesn't want to be in this relationship with her anymore, but doesn't know how to say it. I feel like he feels like he possibly made a mistake about like not going with Molly, and he doesn't know how to like separate. Like apparently they hadn't spent like that last week really together. And then
Yeah.
when she asked him like, "I'd really like for you to stay," he was like, "See, the thing is, I'd actually like to go." I said, "Oh dang." I was like,
yeah.
I
I'm
thought,
like,
girl,
where
you
you
gotta let
going
go.
and who you going with? Okay.
Right.
Right.
I just felt so bad. And I don't even like Lauren like that, but I felt bad for her in the moment
Yes.
because I felt like, girl, he's trying
Absolutely.
to get away and you need to let him go.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I
If I
totally agree.
Yeah, I was like, if I was Lauren's friends in that conversation, I would have said, "Girl, this ain't for you because what we ain't doing is trying to convince a man of anything." Okay, if
Yeah.
he's choosing not to believe you, it already displays that you guys are not at a level to get married because
Yeah.
he does not
Mhm.
trust your word. So
Yeah.
let's not waste any more time and let's
Yeah.
go separate ways. But
Yeah.
Lauren is so determined,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To get her man to win.
So yes, and she also said before they started cycling, I now no longer have to be the third wheel or the fifth wheel, which is what Chi Chi was getting at in the last episode about Lauren
Mhm.
Gibbs. All of her friends are married and coupled up and moving on with
Yeah.
life, and Lauren is feeling behind, and she feels like she needs to
Mhm.
catch up.
Yeah, it's not looking good. And I am not gonna lie, I am not looking forward to when he like meets Molly because I mean she is a very vibrant personality.
Mhm.
She's a cute girl, and I'm like, this may not go well.
Yeah, it
Um,
definitely won't go well.
Yeah, and I wonder what, like, on the preview at the end of the episode, they were there that Molly asked him about the last time he had sex, and I was like, "Hold okay, Molly,
I know.
don't you don't ask
I
no
Don't be a
engagement
girl.
in."
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be
So I'm
right.
like, "What's happening, Molly?" But then the way they cut it, you never know. His old bringing up sex ass could have asked her about sex, and then it's just like he wouldn't let the conversation go, and then she's like, "Well, when's the last time you had sex?" And then that's what they cut to for us. But
Right.
we'll even never know. Like you like they may edit the episode that way. Like, but I could see him having
Yeah,
been the one who brought it up.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And I do think them not I mean, I'm assuming they've had sex now, but I do think it was a bigger deal to him than what he was trying to, like, act, that they hadn't had sex when they first met. Um,
I don't think they
yeah.
had sex because in
Yeah,
that
I
last
don't think they had sex
conversation,
either.
he brought up, he was like, "You were just hooking up with this guy, and we haven't even hooked up."
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think they
yeah,
had sex.
yeah. Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
that's a bigger deal than what she thinks. Like, I think he really wants to, because she keeps saying, oh, she wants to explore the sexual thing before the marriage, but she's probably sensing from him, like, we're not, like, something's off.
Mhm.
And I think he's a little like frustrated around the fact that they're not having sex.
and another thing I didn't like was when I went to the store and got all of these snacks and stuff, and you see me stressing, trying to prepare for your friends to come over, and then you talking about well, they're on standby
On
in
standby.
case they don't end up coming because they don't want to be involved in the drama. They keep inserting themselves in the drama by telling you and feeding you all this stuff in your ear. They want to be involved in the drama. If it's what you're saying, Dave, they definitely want to be involved in the drama. So let's go ahead and bring them on in.
I thought that
On
was a lie
standby?
when he
I
said
don't
that.
think he
I thought that
even
was
told them.
yes, I don't think he expected I think he literally said that was his you know how some people try to, like, back out of stuff? That was his
Mhm.
first drop, he dropped, they're on standby,"
Right.
and then it's like, "I'm gonna start a little argument with you," and then I created a situation where, "Oh my god, like, I don't actually want to bring them into this moment right now, and so I'm gonna
Mhm.
say no," but meanwhile, they was never coming, you know? That's how I
Mhm.
feel.
I
I feel
agree.
like they were never coming, or if they were, like, they knew that not e I don't think they were coming. I'm not even about to go down that fantasy lane. I don't think they were
Yeah,
coming. I think that if
Yeah.
anything, they were all going out to hang, like
Yeah,
him with his
without
boys.
her.
yeah.
Mhm.
Right, without her.
Not
It's
only
giving a
that
classic oh, sorry, go on.
no, you got it.
Oh, I was saying, like, it's giving classic, like, he just wants to, like, leave. I don't know. I've been in this situation before. I've been in a situation where a guy doesn't wanna tell you they don't wanna be with you anymore, and so they're, like, doing these weird things, like, saying these weird things to, like, back out of the situation instead of
Mhm.
just being direct, and this is what it's giving me. You haven't really hung out with her in a week. You're supposed to be living together,
Yes.
and then you all go out, you're frantically putting together these snacks, and you're like, "Oh, they're on standby." She's like, "What do you mean standby? Why do we go out and buy stuff for standby?" Then after they have a conversation, "Yeah, I don't think it's a good moment they should come. I also don't think I should stay." And I'm like, "What?" I
Right,
just felt,
right.
ugh,
Instead of staying to work on your relationship in this fantasy you have about everything
yeah,
is going awry and wrong in your relationship, you are still not leaning in because he said, I need
yeah,
you to meet me halfway. He's like, I am, I'm trying to. It's just, it's a lot. It's so much. And furthermore, he been dropping hints that he don't like her when he kept bringing up, yeah, you pee a lot during the night. You keep moving.
I
Like,
think it was just
these little
awkward
things,
talk.
like, but he brought it up 1,000 times. Every time he
Yeah.
talked about the girl, he kept bringing it up. Like,
Yeah, he kept bringing it up in, like, mixed company too. I was like, "Okay."
everyone else is explaining their connection and like how things are going. And he's just like, yeah, she gets up a lot, she moves a lot. Meanwhile, he's saying, it doesn't bother me, I stay asleep, but somehow you know how
I
many times
know.
he's getting
Clock
up.
all these times. Yeah.
yeah. They don't have
Yeah,
a
so
good
it's
connection.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
not at all. Mhm.
She
yeah,
just wants to be married, and she's trying to force this thing that's clearly not, like, it's not merging. It's not happening.
yeah. Because there's one thing to fight for your relationship, and it's another to just stand and just take the beating. And she is
Yeah,
Mhm.
standing, she's trying to stand strong.
yeah.
I'm like, the moment he walked out that door, it would have been a wrap.
A
Like,
wrap.
Yeah. It just makes me think about like what we talked about what I was saying last week about, this pressure that you put on like a guy. Like when you put too much pressure, like you gonna lose even when you get what you want because
Yeah.
he's not coming to this willingly, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like that fine line that I was talking about is what we're seeing the fallout of. Like she wanted it too much, and I can't remember the woman's name, but um, there's a relationship woman. She was on Cam Newton's show. Do you know the lady I'm talking about? She's
oh, Dr.
Dr. Bryant. Is that her
Bryant,
name?
Dr. Bryant.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
She
yeah.
was saying something about like, do you want a marriage or do you want that person? She talked about that in some interview she was doing, and I think Lauren, like you said, Lauren is the person who wants the
Marriage.
marriage,
Yeah.
not necessarily the person, because I don't even know what she likes about Dave. Like, what does she like about Dave? It gives it like that was her only connection that really felt like it could possibly go somewhere, so she held on to it for dear life. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, honestly, because again, she was the one who was like, at all his jokes, like she
No,
was offended by him and his
Yeah.
views on things. So I don't know how they got that far.
I don't
Yeah.
either. I'm curious what he was thinking because I'm like, it doesn't really seem like you clicked with her either. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, he did say
Mhm.
that. Who I think one of the girls asked him, like, "Why did you
Sarah
choose?"
asked him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
"Why did you choose Lauren?" And he was like, "'Cause she shared with me how she felt about me, and it all just made sense." And that's
Mhm.
what we said last week. He chose Lauren
Mhm.
because she was upfront about, "I choose you. I want you. I feel this way about you." And
Yep.
Molly was a little more subtle about it. She did put it out
Mhm.
there a bit, but she was a lot more subtle than Lauren.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
And he's talking out 2 sides of his mouth, like, even with the friends, he was just like, she was like, "I don't wanna feel like I can't defend myself," and he was like, "Yeah, and I know, you're a great person, I know that about you," and it's like, "Bruh, if you know that about her, what are we talking about?" Like, you are the one who believes what they're saying, but then you're trying to say, like, "They don't know that, like, they don't know that you're a great person." It's like, do you
Yeah,
know though? Like, or are you just
No.
talking out 2 sides of your mouth and trying to put out the fire that's in front of you, which is her feelings about them, you know?
yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to remember, did Dave ever bring up his sister to Molly?
No clue. No
I
clue.
can't remember
I
'cause
want to see
yeah.
the sister meet Lauren though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do wanna
I don't
see
think
the
we're gonna
sister.
get there, y'all. Though.
I don't
no,
think
we're
we
not
can get
we're
there
not getting
either. Yeah,
there.
no.
But I do wonder if he ever brought it up to Molly as it being a concern because he actually liked Molly.
Mhm.
You know, like he's almost like, excuse me, obsessive over this idea that his sister is not going to like Lauren for some reason.
Mm.
And it's like, you're a grown man.
You mean
You
Molly or Lauren?
Lauren.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
Yeah, because
mhm.
he keeps bringing it up to he brought it up to her in the pods. Granted, I know
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
try not to show like similar conversations twice, but I just
Mhm.
don't ever for it to be such a thing for him, I would have
Mhm.
thought that maybe it would have came up in a clip that we saw of conversations with Molly, and it
Mhm.
Mhm.
didn't. And somehow it's also part of this whole drama thing. Like now my sister knows, and blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah, like now she thinks her a terrible person. She already was worried about the experiment, and it's like I I really was just like, "Dave can't make a decision for himself, that's the problem."
Can't.
Yes.
He
Like, that's
can't.
what you said last time, Chi.
He let the woman decide based
Mhm.
on who told him, that they wanted him, so Lauren won because she said it, and now he's stuck in a situation where I don't even know who to believe. I don't know what
Yeah.
to decide, I don't know what to do. My sister, my friends, I don't wanna have to choose between you and my friends. It's never a choice, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
your
If
friends
you
are not putting up
confused,
an ultimatum?
yeah.
Right. If
Lauren needs to run. If she,
she does.
I have learned if you are confused as a woman, that means something's
It's
happening.
time, right. I mean, I'm big in this phase. If he wanna leave, let him. I feel like a lot of times women and I
Mhm.
think I've said this before in our podcast, like, women will really wait for the guy to make the decision. When you already knew months ago, it was
Mhm.
time to go, and I'm like, "Just go ahead and do it. Make the decision. Just say it. You
Yeah.
can actually do the thing. He wanna go, let him."
Yeah.
And he's
Period.
given the signs to Lauren that he wants to go, so she just gotta let him go.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Ben and Sarah, what are our thoughts? Because I wasn't paying
Ben's
attention
friend
to
group.
much
I
until the
was
end.
when those friends
You
came.
were? Yeah.
Yeah,
Were those his friends or her friends?
those were his
For his
friends, and
friend.
that group was so diverse. I was like, no one in that group know about being Black Lives Matter. I was really confused.
It wasn't that diverse, girl. Because
I
I
said,
ain't
"Are
see.
these" for no,
Like,
yeah, they had the lesbian in there,
A
they had the
lesbian
Mexican in there,
and
they
had an
had the
Asian,
Asian girl in there who's agnostic, don't even believe in God, or did you
right?
say she
It
was
was a
agnostic or atheist?
I
I
thought
can't
they were
remember.
her friends for because of the way they presented.
those
But
were his
he
friends.
and one
I'm
another.
not
Won't
convinced. I'm just
yeah.
not. I'm not
These are
convinced.
big
All of
I'm like,
their
did you hire these people?
right.
literally, I said, "These have got to be hired actors, and they are doing a damn good job." And also, I thought, if these are his friends, is he gay? Like, that
You thought
just
he was gay,
I
maybe?
did a little bit. In that scene, I was just
Interesting.
like, "It's something going on here," and then, like, the way that he kinda responds to Sarah sometimes, I'm like,
Ah. Oh, somebody did say he gives me theater.
"Theater
I
kid."
did. He gives
Yeah,
the
you
Yes,
did
theater
say
show
that.
choir vibe.
yes,
Yeah, you
yes.
did
Not
say
saying that
that.
all
Said
men
that, yeah.
in that vibe are
Mhm.
gay or that would have a diverse group of friends are gay.
Yeah.
It's just the mannerism, everything together.
Mhm.
Lord,
Mhm.
y'all don't cancel us for this. It just
Yeah, I didn't see it, but it's only because I was not paying attention to it. I'm like, if the show boring, I'm not interested in y'all right now. It's like I zoned out a little bit in some of those conversations. I promise you, I couldn't tell you what they were talking about, except to the end when the drama came. And I was like, hold on, what? Who? And look at who it is
They
who's bringing the
they
drama.
weren't talking about
Or
nothing. They were trying to convince Sarah that he is a good guy and he's open and like that's basically what they were trying to convince him. Like the girl was like, "I'm also gay," and this girl was like, "I'm agnostic,"
you
and they were like,
know,
"Are you gonna go to church with him?" And I was like, "I'm kind of confused." Like,
it was put on. It was like he had a prior conversation with them, and was like, "She needs to know that I am okay with diversity and human
Mhm.
rights." Because it's just like, why are y'all announcing these
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
His little black oh, let me not say that. I was say his little black stand-in had to cancel at the last minute or something. He's like, "You guys will
Mhm.
work." I don't know. Just joking, but
No,
he
honestly, I literally wrote, "Is this a joke?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
mm-mm.
what do y'all think about the actual drama towards the end of some other woman, saying, whatever. I don't even know what it is because this I've intentionally avoided spoilers because there's been so many spoilers for this season of Love Is Blind. Like I've seen how many couples actually get married. I don't know who, but I'm like trying to avoid it. And like even pages that I love and I like to follow typically, I'm like not following them because I'm like I want to watch it and then can make my predictions and then see all the
Right.
Yeah.
tea.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of spoilers, and I don't know if they were the drama of the that started before. Like as soon as the season was announced, there was drama that was on social media, and people knew the backstory, and ignored it.
Mm.
But this might have been the drama. I don't know. But his whole response to me made me feel like he's lying.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And she was holding his feet to the fire on it though, because she was like, "You don't remember? I remember my relationships from 4 years ago. Like, what do you mean?" And then it was like, "Oh, like maybe, like maybe I remember a little bit, or like, yeah, I never reached out to her, but she DM'd me, or I think we kissed." I was like, "Okay, you already all over the place, and you've only been having this conversation for like 30 seconds."
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. I was Sarah, she gained a few points back in that
Mhm.
conversation.
She
Just a
did
few, not many,
not a
but a
lot, but
few.
she gave a few.
Gained some back, and she said, "If I find out anything else,
Mhm.
you are grass. You are toast." Okay. So I was like, okay, at least she is standing up for that because she basically I mean, I like that she was like, "I'm not gonna ignore this woman. I'm gonna hear her out. Like, I want
Mhm.
her to feel heard," which is often in these types of situations, the opposite sometimes happens. And so I did appreciate that she was
Yeah.
like, no, like she's not just saying this just to say it. And if she was, I want all the details. And you ain't got none. So I'm gonna have to go find them. That's what it was given.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I would be surprised if she did, interact and reach out to the girl, but that'd be interesting. For sure, that'd be interesting. She would get a lot of points for me for that, and only because of the fact that, like, I think that not burying your head in the sand is a good tactic to
Mhm.
have. But when I saw it, I felt like Sarah kind of likes to have her cake and eat it too. Like I feel like she's out here being like, yeah, I will I think this woman needs to be believed. I think, but then it's like I'm also gonna choose you. And it's like same thing she did in the pods to me, being like, I have these values around, gay rights and Black Lives Matter, and you don't, but I have them, and so I want to keep you and have them, have my, even
Mhm.
though we have opposing values, it's like she wants her cake and eat it too. And I feel like in this situation, I don't know, I didn't maybe I'm being too hard on Sarah, but I really did not feel like, I felt like she's just trying to keep him, but also maybe give herself like the room to have it out if this is like a big thing. But as long
Mhm.
as it doesn't cause me a problem or it doesn't blow up bigger than this, then I would be okay. I feel like that's what she was saying, as opposed to
Mhm.
like recognizing like this might be something big, and this might be something that you do need to explore more. And so yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I feel
I
like you
mean,
have your opinion for a good reason. I mean,
yeah.
Mm,
she
mm,
showed us before, right, that she'll say something and then kind of
do
go
that.
back on it.
Yeah.
So
Up
I
on it.
think
Yeah.
it's a clear logical thought to say like, I can't trust Sarah right now.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't think she's quite sure. I think she wants him, but at the same time, she's like, it goes against my values to not believe women if what they're
Mhm.
saying or like things like that. And so I think she's trying to like toe the line a bit. I,
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see what how this is going to unfold. Like, what is this girl saying? I actually like tried to look up like this video or the TikTok because it was like a TikTok or something.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
TikTok.
So
Yeah.
did
So
you find
I didn't find it. Right. So I tried to look
Oh,
it
that's
up.
interesting. So maybe
Yeah.
they're
I mean,
not the drama then.
No. I'm not that savvy.
Yeah, it's them. I actually, when I first saw it, I thought because the girl didn't say any names, and I saw it through. I think is her name Showtime Ricky?
Yeah, story time, I
Mhm.
think. With
Storytime with
Ricky.
Ricky. Yeah, I saw it through her page, and in the initial video that she posted about it, she didn't say who the guy was that they were talking about. And so
Oh.
going into the episodes, I thought it was David that the video was talking about,
Oh.
just because
Mm.
of how David presented in the first couple of episodes in the pods. But
Mhm.
then I had saw later on that it was like about Ben, like going into actually just yesterday I saw that it was about Ben, and
Okay.
I was like, "Oh, it's about Ben? Like this so this is the video that they're talking about?" But I need to go back
Okay.
and actually watch the video
A
So you don't
to
know
video.
what it is?
I don't know exactly what the actions are. Should we just watch it? We should just watch it. Let me go get my phone.
Ha ha ha. So we watched the video. I don't know if I have any more additional insight, from watching the video. Like, I don't want to go down too much of a rabbit hole because I don't
It
want to
doesn't
catch
say
other
anything.
spoilers.
Yeah, that, but it doesn't say much. And I guess like
Yeah.
she like referenced a video that she made like a year ago or something, I guess, talking
Mm,
about her like a story time talking about him.
mhm.
And I didn't watch that video. I actually don't even know if I could find it. But again, I think it's a lot. I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
Kinda hurt.
her-
Like, to me, it's like, okay, they were in something, in some way he lied or manipulated because she said that much, and, like, she's hurt by it. Now, it may not have been a small thing, but, I mean, I don't know, to me, this gives run of the mill, and I may we don't know what it is. It could have been something, like, really deep. But
Yeah.
to me, I'm like, this is giving run of the mill. Lots of people lie and manipulate all day, every day.
yeah.
Well, this is the thing that I like. I'm not trying to say like you have to put your business out there, but I feel like if you're gonna come out and make a statement like this, tell us
Yeah.
what it is.
Right.
Because I don't like lying and manipulation especially can be subjective. Like you can think someone's manipulating you, that's subjective. But lying is objective. And so like tell me what he lied about. Like did he lie that like, oh, he told me he was gonna pick me up at 5 p.m. and then he didn't, and I was waiting there and then I had to call him and then he didn't come until 8. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to
Yeah.
wait, I had to catch a bus home or whatever. Like, is that the lie? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just making up a ridiculous scenario, but there are some
Mhm.
lies that can be little and there's some lies that can be big. And for all of the crying that's going on in this TikTok video, it seems like it's a big lie. And so if it's a big lie, I think that you have
Spill the
to
beans.
say what it, huh?
I said spill the beans.
Yeah,
Right.
you
Right.
you need to tell people, give people context. But to her credit, I've seen a little bit of Ben, and I don't necessarily disbelieve her. You get what I'm saying? Like even though
Yeah.
I feel like she should share more information when she comes out with something like this. But he gives me like something not right about him, in my view.
Like, the way that he was talking about on the episode, like, "Oh, we went on, like, 1 date, a couple of DMs, like, we never even hooked up, only a kiss." It doesn't meet what she's doing in this video,
Doesn't.
right?
Right.
Like, it's
It
one thing to
doesn't.
be ghost and, like, your ego hurt, whatever, cool. But you don't cry about it 4 years later and make a video on TikTok about it. Unless, like you were saying, Kamari, like, it's giving you're unstable or you want some level of fame or something
Mhm.
actually did happen. And I think that's
Yeah,
what Sarah was trying to explain to him, like, what you're saying happened between you all does not match her on TikTok
yeah,
doing this. You
yeah,
need to come clean about what has happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's one of them is
She was
lying.
giving
Gives
her
it.
one of them
It's
is
no,
like,
you
and
can't.
she was giving him grace. She was like, "People could grow. I know
Yeah.
your heart today." You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So whatever it was, like, just let me know. But also to clock the BS when they were talking about like cleanliness, and she was like, "Well, do you wash? How often do you wash your sheets?" And he was like every 2 weeks. Like I love a clean pair of sheets or whatever. And he
Mhm.
was like, "Yeah, I can like clean press your sheets." And he was like, "Well, I don't even know what that means. I'm just saying." I was like, you just be lying and just saying
She was
stuff.
saying anything. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the whole story, how he told it just didn't sound right. It's like you remember enough to calm her down about, oh, it's nothing. but
Yeah.
you don't remember enough to really actually tell her the full story. Like, to me, it's just he comes off as he's lying. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't
um,
wait till they do their home visits.
I know.
interesting.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
him to
No,
meet her
it's true because
sister.
you wanna see what's happening.
Yeah, I want him to meet her sister.
I want Sarah to meet his parents.
What are your thoughts on Monica and Joey when Monica took him back home to her family? I will
I
say Monica makes a lot more sense in the context of her family.
Yes.
Look, I
Yes.
said, "Wow, they are all the same."
Right. Not the jamboree session. The
Yes.
jamboree session, I was like, "Okay." She was like, yeah, but I thought it was sweet. I
It
did
was
think it was
sweet
sweet
though,
that their
yeah.
whole family it made me have more I was a little more sure about them because I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, like, this is not just you guys are kooky and nervous with each other, and so that's why you're so energetic. This is actually a vibe. Like, you exist in a world and a sea of people who are kind of kooky and energetic as well."
Yeah.
So it gave that. But then the sister, like, that's the only wrench in it. I was like, "What?" I was
Yeah,
confused.
yeah. Well, you could tell there's been jealousy because the guy,
Yeah.
her boyfriend, was talking to Monica
Yeah.
first,
I didn't
and I was
understand.
like, "Oh, this is interesting," and, like,
Yeah.
everyone else in the room was laughing about it, and the sister's looking like,
It's not funny. Right.
was not giving this as a joke, like, this was not a good
Yeah.
joke for her,
I didn't
and then her
understand that.
yeah, 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 I was like, "How does this happen? How do you get this far into a relation?" I couldn't tell how long they've been together, but I was like, "How do you get that far in a relationship knowing that your boyfriend was talking to your sister?"
Apparently,
I
they like, the boyfriend and Monica, like, talked for a bit. She wasn't interested, and she said to him, "I think you actually would be a good fit for my sister." And then she did, like, a soft handoff. And then Joey made the joke like, "Oh, I think he's still actually trying to get with Monica. He's just, like, playing and going through the sister." And so everyone was laughing about it, and the sister was just looking all stale-faced, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
this is a touchy subject."
Very
Yeah.
touchy. Yeah, yeah.
Eh, the sister was very odd, you know what I mean? Like, I have a sister. I never interact with her like that. I never like, it's odd that you're getting married before me." I mean, like,
I
I
know.
can express that would be, like, an interesting sort of dynamic to experience, but it's like, I wouldn't ever, be like, "Oh, that's a odd thing." It's like, that's just what happened, it's just what happened, and so it's just what happened.
Yeah,
In
you
some
could
Yeah.
tell
families,
she
the
was
baby of the family gets married first,
yeah.
it's what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell she was, really trying to, like, lay it on thick, like, with doubt to Monica,
Mhm.
like, as the older sister, as someone who's good at reading people, you know, I just think you would love, like, an Italian hot
Like,
guy, and
"Girl, and you can
yeah,
get
and
him." I
not
was like,
this,
"What?"
like,
Yeah.
personality-wise, and I'm like, "Personality-wise, he just did the jamboree with y'all, what do
I
you mean?"
know, right? He did the jamboree, she didn't even do the jamboree, he more in it than
Right,
she.
Right.
right, and, yeah, when she was like, "So you're gonna do it? You're gonna just go ahead and get married?" I think she was saying, "So you're gonna really just go ahead and get married before me to this guy that you just
Yeah.
met, knowing that I've been with my boyfriend who also liked you at some point for this long? I just can't believe this is what's happening right now. Like, how dare you, Monica?" Like, that is what
Yeah.
I felt like she
Me
was saying.
too.
Yes, at that campfire. It was too much.
It was too much.
Yeah.
Joey was spot on. It's giving jealousy. Like, as soon
Yeah,
as she
Yeah, yeah,
said,
yeah.
like, "Oh, you're getting married before me. I'm the oldest sister." I was like, "Oh, so you're jealous." I'm like, "Girl, that's not a good look." Be like, you share in your sister's happiness. I feel like this is the most perfect match
Yeah.
for her. Who else is gonna
Yep.
meet her at this energetic level? Like,
right.
the way that he was cool with that little sock bin that y'all been doing all your lives. Come on now. There's not everybody that's gonna joke about that.
I thought the sock bin was just I didn't think that was that big of a deal.
I thought it was odd.
Look at her.
I'm like,
I
"Oh,
thought
no."
it was
When she said, "Oh,
I'm
we
like,
just
your
came here and
athletic
picked up."
socks, the socks you work out in, your socks that you wear in your booties, the socks you wear in your hood.
Because
No.
I heard he said something about an underwear drawer. That's what I was kinda like, Hold on, what? This is a joke, right?
Yeah.
I think it was a joke. I hope it was a joke.
No, he said
But that's
he
what
had
got,
great
maybe it was the letdown from that of being like, oh, it's not an underwear drawer, it's a sock drawer. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
Joey, but
not feeling that.
it was funny. I wasn't feeling the sock bin either, but he was like, "You can have one. My socks won't be in it, but you
Yeah.
can have one."
Yeah, but when Joey clocked it with her sister, and
Yeah.
he was like, well, it's not my problem. I was like, that is an individual who went to therapy. Okay. I
Uh-huh.
was applauding Joey in that conversation. I was like, this is what it sounds like when you have gone to therapy and you have done the work, and the way that he eloquently talked about his OCD diagnosis and like the things that he did.
Yeah.
Kamara, you found it boring. I thought it was a great conversation to have on TV and to show, how how therapy can work and really help you through things.
Yeah.
And so when he was like, "No, actually, it's her problem." Well, can you tell me if there's anything that I did that
Mhm.
could have caused her not to like me? No. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like you need to have a conversation with her. I don't need to have a conversation with her. So I was like,
Exactly.
I was like,
He was
absolutely
spot
round of
on.
applause, snap, snap, snap for Joey.
Yeah.
Mhm, it
And I
was.
wonder what, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't have anything. I was just agreeing with Victoria.
Yeah, no, I wonder what Monica and her sister's relationship is though also,
Mhm.
because it was very interesting that Monica seemed to like go into a shell of herself
Yeah.
when her sister brought all that up, and it wasn't like, oh, come on. I don't have time for this. Like, you feel how you feel, whatever, whatever. Or just coming back with like a little bit more confidence. It seems like her sister got is like the more explosive and like what I say is gold sort of thing, and she's more like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, like, and
Yeah.
that dynamic was, it was interesting. It was kind of like a little unfortunate to watch because it was like, this guy seems great for you. Don't let her
Yeah.
bring doubts into your mind about it.
Feel like Monica, like, slowly, like, I wouldn't say started to feel insecure, but I could tell, like, when they transitioned from what were they in Honduras or whatever for the honeymoon, and they got
Mhm.
back to, like, the real world, then it was like, "Oh, is that a deal breaker?" Or "How do you do cleaning? I'm this or I'm that." I could tell she was starting to feel, like, a little self-conscious about, like, we've been away at the pods, we've been, like, living this, like, kind of la la land life, and now we're back in real life. Are you gonna like who I am in this arena? And so I start like notice a little bit of a shift where I'm like, oh, you seemed really, really confident. And here I noticed that you're kind of like doubting some things, like the knickknacks that she has, or the funny story she told about like the spider nest in the crotch of her pants. Like, and so he was like, how long were those jeans laying on the ground? And she was like, is that a deal breaker? And I'm like, girl, we all
Mhm.
have these stories. And then I think it just continued when she went and her sister was like, I don't like him, right? And I was like, okay, we're seeing a different side of her. Not a bad side, right? Like we all have our
Mhm.
moments where we're confident and maybe where we're less confident. But I feel like we are seeing a different side of her come out since they've been back at home.
Mhm.
And I think he's also clocking it too, like almost like, this is a new side of you that I'm seeing. I mean, makes sense. You only known her for 10 days,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes like quirkiness and like orderliness doesn't always go in the same basket, right? Like you don't
Mhm.
often see those two things exist in the same universe, but it does for Joey, right? Like even though Joey is this very like expressive and fun and like he can get down and do all of the cute little quirky things, he's also very orderly, organized and clean in his life, and it seems like
Yeah.
that is how he has structured things to like keep his peace. But Monica, it might be the opposite of that. Not saying Monica is dirty, but like Joey's
Mhm.
like, I could never imagine having clothes just sitting in a closet for however long enough for a spider to create and lay eggs
Yeah,
in
no,
the
that is
crotch of
real.
your jeans.
I
Oh,
just
so
skipped past that story 'cause I was like, I don't even understand this. I don't understand it.
When he emphasized the crotch of your jeans, I was cracking up because I'm like, yo,
right. Joey said how long have they been laying there? And she was like, not long. And he was like, but long enough for them to create a home in the country of your jeans. Like, and I could tell she felt like a little self-conscious because he's kind of like, I hate doing laundry, but yet I still fold my clothes. Like I
Yeah,
put them up. And she's like, I hate doing laundry and I shove that mess into my closet. And those are two different types of like ways of handling it's like for laundry.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think they're gonna have to balance that, but I still think they could definitely make it work. But I think there's a lot that Monica can learn from Joey and vice versa. Yeah.
Mhm.
My points for Joey definitely increased in these episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I think for both of them, for me, like when the mom was like, "You guys are cute," or she said, "He's cute," or something like that. "You guys are cute together." Like I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, yeah, this whole family blessing, except the sister," but like I was feeling it, and I was like, it seems like they will have a good connection, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Mm, guess we'll find out. Okay, what y'all think about Virginia and Devin? Like, I know last episode we were saying like, oh, we don't know about Virginia. She just kept saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, is she actually into him? Is she shy? And so now that we've got to see more of her, what are you all thinking?
They're very steamy to me for some reason. I don't
Really?
know. Yes, I was like, they're
Okay.
actual like they're more like intimate moments, like when they were in the pool. I was like, okay, this is
There was
Okay.
some rocking of the water. I
yeah.
was, what's happening?
I was like, okay, this is like giving like deep into your soul. Like I think
Oh, I
over
shouldn't have done that. Sometimes I stick my tongue out. It wasn't on purpose, but
I was like, I think overall they're a little, mellow, but like when they
mhm,
had those moments on camera where they were like deep into it, I was like, okay, this they might really be feeling each other. It's a lot of gazing.
yeah.
It's a lot of like, I wanna be up under you, in
Mhm,
you,
mhm, mhm.
world together. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Their kisses seemed very, like, intentional, like, even when they were at
Yeah.
the group date and he came over and, like, grabbed her and gave her a kiss, you can tell, like, they make sure, like, they lock eyes, like, I don't
Mhm.
know, it was just giving, like if I saw them, I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Wow, they're very in love."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, my reaction was not about whether I think they are into each other. It was the steamy part. Like they give me wholesome more than steamy to me. Like
But they
Yeah.
are also
steamy,
wholesome. Yeah, they're
yeah, they give me
wholesome.
wholesome. They give me
2
like
things can
they
be true.
true. Very true. Very
She
true.
gives me really wholesome. Like, she seems really, really wholesome, just like like a very, like, sweet, like, I think
Mhm.
she referred to herself as being quite feminine, like, she gives
Mhm.
a lot of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the I don't know if I would use steamy, but I could see steamy moments. Like, the pool
Mhm.
moment was kinda steamy, I will say that. I just kinda feel like I hate to say it, but I think Virginia is a little boring. Like, I'm just
Oh
like,
no.
"Girl, mm, mm." And I
Yeah,
don't
no.
know, I just feel like, "Devin, is this gonna be enough for you?" Right? Like,
I
I don't
think it's gonna
know.
be a new program. I don't think he has high standards. I mean, not saying like she's like high standards in the sense of she's
Right,
not
right,
like
I know what you
I'm
mean,
just
right. Yeah,
sometimes men, they just like what they like. I like it, I see it, I like it. They good. They
right.
simple. And I
Okay.
think I don't think that he's
That's the word,
looking for
simple, and I don't mean it, like, in a negative way, but she is
Mhm.
quite, like, simple and, and I was like, "Okay, I mean, you like it, I love it, but I do think you're a little boring."
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. She's very yeah, and that's the thing I think on the first drop of episodes we misread about her,
Mhm.
the reveal. Like we were like, or at least me, I was looking at her like, not looking at him and being
Mhm.
like this and being like that. And it's like, oh, she's not into him. But it's like, no, that's just her personality. She's actually
She
kind of
is,
like, I
yeah,
think Victoria, you said it. She said she's shy. She is kind of that, she's this
yeah,
person that doesn't give a lot. But it seems like they're both interested in each
yeah.
other.
Yeah.
And the prenup conversation actually, when it
Went
came
well.
about, I was like, this just seems, it doesn't even seem that big of a deal, to be honest, to
Mhm.
me. I
Yeah,
mean, in my view, like I thought it was a very natural conversation to have. And I think that it is interesting that it is giving the sister such pause because they've all only known each other for like 21, whatever days.
Yeah.
10 days in a pause, apparently, that's what they said.
But I liked how he did stand up and was like, actually, when I thought about it, like this and that, and I'm with her. Like he basically was like, I'm with her on this, right? I don't have a problem in signing
Yeah,
a prenup. Like if we
I
look
love
at how like relationships are going these days, there's nothing wrong with having that security, even though we're never going to have to use it.
mhm,
And so I do like how he was just, reiterated to the family. And I think after that, I think they were like, yeah, okay. Because I
mhm,
agree of like they haven't known each other that long. And she's just trying to like protect not just herself, but both of them. That if for some
mhm.
reason it does come to this, we're both good.
Yeah.
Right. And he was like, one person usually ends up being screwed over. So
Mhm,
Yeah.
in this regard, it protects both of them. I also think there was some comfort with signing it because it seems like he's done well for himself. Like,
Yeah.
he works for this program, but he was like, I have the money saved up for a home and for
Hmm.
next steps and things like that. And so I think financially they were in alignment. I don't know if he necessarily was thinking to himself, I want to be a millionaire because he seems more like passion focused um,
Hmm.
mhm.
instead of, like, driven in that way, not saying you can't be a millionaire by going after your passions, but I think that's more so when he thinks about success, he's not thinking of it in that terms, he's thinking of, like, his legacy and impact,
Hmm.
and so, I don't know, when they had a financial conversation, I said, "Well, I'll be darned.
Right.
This
Mhm.
It
this
was
worked
so.
out." I said, "That's the perfect response, baby, because sign it
Yeah,
up, sign it up, okay?"
Yeah.
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 I thought it was good too.
And I liked his family. I really thought that they were, I mean, even the sister, even though she had that question, I thought they had good questions for her and like we're really making sure like you're a good fit. And his mom was like, it seems like she checks all your boxes. So
Mhm.
yeah. I'm excited for them. I hope they do work out. I think you're right. I think even though I do think she's a little boring, I think it's more than enough for him. I think he is, that whatever the connection they have works for each other.
His mom mentioned that he was stubborn. So I was like, I haven't seen that trait in him, but for his mother to say that he's stubborn, I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder how that will play out because um I didn't get that vibe from him that he was stubborn. He seems very like
Mm,
go with the flow, but moms know their kids. So
Yeah.
I,
I kinda took it as, like, a lighthearted joke a little bit. I didn't take it as too serious, but
yeah.
also because, like, I hadn't seen that part of him,
Part of
but
yeah,
who
yeah.
knows, maybe it will come, but it seems like he's a pretty accommodating person in
Yeah,
general.
he does.
Yeah, he
And
seems accommodating.
the only thing I think about, like, in terms of, like, the spoilers that I have seen about the show, I don't won't say, but it seems that there aren't a lot of marriages that come out of this, and so
Really?
yeah, was that too much of a spoiler? I'm so sorry.
No, no,
But,
no,
like,
I'm shocked because I feel like so
yeah,
far
and
everyone seems pretty
well,
strong except
at
for
least that's
yeah,
what I saw. Maybe I saw a wrong headline. I saw it and I was just like, I don't wanna see anymore," and I didn't watch it. I don't know, but it seemed like there weren't as many, and that's why I wonder, like, where are some of these when is the other shoe gonna drop for some of these couples? So, I
um,
wonder about them because, like, in my view, I have a couple who I think will be, like, the front runner for, like, you're, probably gonna get married, but, they're not it, but I don't I see their connection. I think their connection is really
yeah,
good. So,
Mhm. But I think for Virginia and Devin, even if they did decide not to get married, like, on the day, I
uh-huh.
feel like that they
Good
could
point,
still
yeah.
potentially have, like, a good relationship
Mhm,
and get to that point at some point.
mhm. No, I can see that.
So what about Daniel and Taylor? They were like, we thought that they may not even make it to the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, very surprised. I was like, "Okay, girl, you had this speculation." For some reason, I thought that they got their phones back, and
Mm,
that's how it all
Oh, yeah,
came full
no.
circle for her. So
Mhm.
when the producer was like, "If you would like your phone," I was like, "Oh, girl, you don't even know. You just this is like real speculation here. Like this is strong speculation with all of these details, and you have a follower app."
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I thought those didn't exist, but maybe they do. I don't know.
they do.
I thought it was like bot stuff. Like you
Ah,
could get more followers if you know, type buying them type of stuff. That's
And
like
then
a different level of desire for social perception, in my
yeah,
yeah, I would
yeah.
agree with
And then she couldn't even find him. Then she was like, "Dang, so many people have unfollowed me." And I
so
was
many
like, "Girl."
followers, so humbling. Oh my god.
But I thought that at that point I was like, "Oh man, she's probably out here like, tag, like I didn't, I can't get out of this, I can't get out of this." And it seemed like Daniel didn't necessarily give her a out. He was like, I will go with you to Honduras or I will go with you home. And then it's just like
Mhm,
both options are with you, Daniel. Like, give her an option just to leave because she might be trying to leave. But it didn't seem like when you saw their story play out a little bit more, you could see that
mhm.
it does seem like she's really into them. Like, to be honest, they're my top couple right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
They are my top couple, and I love the families meeting.
Mhm,
yes,
I thought that was just great. I thought that was necessary. I thought that showed a lot about them and their match. And Taylor did not seem like this is a thing for her, now. Like, it doesn't seem like
mhm.
his her attraction to him is a thing. Like, she seems very sure or
yeah,
Yeah,
or very like, it seemed like it literally was just a pop in her head and a concern, and then now
it
that it's
left.
alleviated, it's
Yeah,
gone.
yes,
yeah.
yes. I was literally melting for the at-home visit with, Daniel's family. I thought it was so wholesome. I
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
like, "This is how it's supposed to feel to
I
go
agree.
visit a
Yeah.
family." Like, I don't think I would have
Mhm.
walked into that if I was, like, in an interracial couple with Daniel's family. I don't think I would walk into that, like, afraid of how they would
Yeah.
view me,
Mhm,
as an individual, as a woman of
mhm,
color. Like,
mhm.
it just seemed like
Mhm.
they are just a
Nice
very
people.
loving,
Yeah.
yes, kind, nice people, and I was like, I love this for them. You can tell Daniel was raised with love.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he was too. I could tell her mom was a little bit more skeptical, right?
Mhm.
Like, "Okay, like, you didn't even tell me you got engaged." And she was like, "Mom, we didn't even have our phones.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
how am I gonna convey this information to you?"
Mhm.
And so but I couldn't tell if she was only child or had siblings because I was like, if she's the only
Mm.
child, I could tell, like, how her mom was like, "Oh, I like, this is the only moment I'm getting," right? Of, like, a child that's getting engaged and married and all of that, and so, I wanted
it
to
felt like
be
it because, I mean, they weren't around and there was no I don't remember any mention of her having
any
siblings.
Siblings.
siblings. Yeah, yeah. But I loved when their families met. I'm like, I think they got the pick. I don't know about everyone else, but I feel like they got the good pick of the season, like
Mhm.
each other.
Yeah.
They're both like good
Yeah.
picks.
Mhm. No, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
I
Mhm.
was, kinda cracking up when Daniel's mom was like, "Our adult children, they have to make their own decisions, and we just have to
Right.
trust that we raised them right to make a decision." Like, "Baby, you not about to have my son messing up this union right here, okay, because we like Taylor,
Yeah,
so we need
Right.
yeah.
to back up." That's what it was
Yeah. No,
like.
I was wondering myself when I saw, like, the moms, I was like, Is there gonna be a clash with that?" Even when the mom, Taylor's mom was like, "There's the 2 things about strong families is that," I was like, "What's she about to say? We might
Right,
have
right,
different
right.
opinions," but then she's talking about the Christmases and stuff like that. But I didn't know what she was about to say because I thought she was about to say something about their, like, maybe their
Mhm.
opinions. But yeah, I liked it all. I felt
Mhm.
like if they're at the top for me. Like, and they were, I did not think that was going to be last week. I also resonated a little bit with the idea of the mother being like, when she was like, you ain't got to please him. You got to like please me. Like, I'm the one
Right,
you got to
right.
convince. That's my mother. I've said it and said it and said it. Like, my dad is easy. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't
Mhm.
mean that he's not going to call a thing, but he's just very easy. My mom is very convicted, and she's a person that if she feels a certain way, she's going to put her feet in the ground. And so to see that like dynamic, with another family was interesting to me because I was like, I know that experience of having to please your mother as
Mhm.
opposed
Mhm.
to like worrying about the dad, because that's the stereotype is that the dads are the one you got to get past. But in all these shows, kind of like it's the moms, like
Mom, yeah.
Melissa's mom last or Marissa's mom last
Oh, yeah.
season.
Yeah,
And she should have
Um,
she was trying to stand guard.
right,
yeah, and
right.
Marissa should listen.
Okay.
Daniel's ass not washing his hands, like her having to remind him. I was like, girl, stop. Like, not even girl, excuse me, him, whatever, guys, stop. Like, and he was peeing with the door all open. I'm like, when you in the relationship, I think that's like, whatever, pee. Not, you can pee with the door. I do. I am that person. But it was a little too soon to me. Like it's the first pee, and you ain't want to close the door. That's how she caught him in the first place because he had the door all open, just
I think
walking right
some
up out of
people are
there.
like, because I'm kind of the person where I'm like diving straight in that
Mhm.
regard. Like
Oh,
I'm
you're the
yeah, I'm not too reserved about that type of stuff in the beginning,
mm,
and I don't know if it's
mm.
just my inhibitions are down, child. I don't know what it is, but I was like, this is giving like I just don't care. Now the whole washing thing that was gross. Like wash your hands, buddy. But
Yeah, you gotta wash your
yeah,
hands.
it was definitely giving like we're here now. So either you gonna like it or you're not. It's no need to find out later. And I feel the same way. I'm like,
Mhm.
ain't no need to find out what my quirks are later. And now you
Yeah,
irritated and questioning. So you gonna know now.
yeah. They
Right.
seem to be in it, and like one of the things I noted was that Taylor is a very comforting sort of like she's present. She knows how to um meet parents. Like she was very calm. She's just very,
Mhm.
reassuring. If I was someone who was meeting that as my daughter-in-law or my, brothers, I have brothers, their, girlfriends, and they presented that calmly and that confident, like I'd
Mm.
be like, okay, I like this. There's something
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
about her that presents very well,
Mhm. Yeah, I
even more than
agree.
him. But he's cool too.
He's
And
really
he looks just
reassuring.
like his dad. Yeah, he's very reassuring.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the drop for this week, I guess. They did give us the preview for next week, and it seems like Madison is like maybe I don't. Did y'all read that the same way that Madison was calling Mason a liar?
Yeah.
Yes. She was coming
Yeah.
in with
Okay,
a
okay.
vendetta.
I was like, look at her. She back at it again.
She can't still be on that. Like, this has to be a lie from a different, interaction. It can't be the lie of him saying, "I was committed, now I'm not committed to you." Girl,
Yeah.
come on
Yeah,
now.
She was just happy. I think she was excited to be chosen, and she wanted it to be at that, whether that meant she ended up with Mason or not. I think she wanted to
Mhm.
be able to hang that title that 2 men wanted her, and she
yeah,
made the final decision, and there's no way that someone who says they want me can want another individual. I
Right.
think that is what, she wanted. We all here for the drama, so I'm excited to see
yeah,
what,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
calculated mess she brings
yeah.
into the dynamic, but it was
Yeah,
cool to see that I think Meg had made a statement like, "I got my phone back immediately," and was like, "How's Mason?" You
yeah,
know?
Yeah.
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 And it seemed
Yeah.
like they were walking in together, but knowing the way Meg is, so I'm hoping they're together, but knowing the way Meg is, she's the type of person that I feel like even if they weren't together and that was the first time they saw each other, right? She might be like, "Oh my God, I saw him. Look who I have, guys. Like this is Mason." Like, and so she's coming in all excited with him, like it may appear to us like she's with him, but maybe she's not. But I would hope
Yeah.
she is. And if she's not, and Madison starts getting in her head again, I'd be like, oh my God, this is so horrible. Like, I
Right.
don't like that direction. So I'm hoping that they are together and they're able to have like solidified something before that meetup,
Mhm.
because I do think Madison's words could sour how he operated with, I mean, how she operated, how Meg operated with Mason moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't see Alex. I wonder, is he gonna come?
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't. I
Yeah.
would have, maybe they just were like giving us the juicy and
Mhm.
not showing us everything. Because even like in the last drop of episodes, we saw nothing from Taylor and Daniel, and they were just a full-fledged couple, just like everybody else. Like,
True.
so maybe they don't want to spoil certain things.
Okay.
But anything else from that preview for next week that caught anybody's eye? Virginia looked stunning in her, like she obviously gets to wedding aisle. You know, she walks down the
Oh,
aisle.
yeah, she did look
Oh, yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, the little
she
glimpse they
did.
showed of her. Yeah.
And somebody's like, "This is the date of our wedding." Was that Lauren? Like, I couldn't tell whose voice it was that they were
It
like,
sounded like
"Oh."
it was Lauren, and I was like, I couldn't believe they got that far.
I
Yeah, I
know.
know.
I'm like, "You actually put on a wedding dress?"
Yeah, maybe she was just in the Delulu. Delulu, who's in the Delulu? Is it me, her? She might be
Right,
there
you might
because
be.
Dave at home, he ain't even put the tux on. He's
Right,
probably
right,
not in
right.
the shot. That's probably what's happening, to be
Yeah,
honest.
and she
Right.
said the text message went green. Talking about some,
Oh,
I don't know if his
yes,
phone
that's
is
probably
off.
what's happening. He's probably, like, being such a coward and doesn't show up, and she
For the
stays in her
wedding.
Delulu and shows up to the wedding, and then he doesn't.
Mm,
Yeah,
I can see it. I can see it happening. He might be
Yeah.
like, I'm on standby."
that determination, girl, that determination.
Yeah, you're right.
That would be wild,
That
okay?
but
OMG. I'm so
I mean
embarrassed for her already, quite honestly.
Not
I'm
yeah.
gonna
already.
cringe if no, for real. Like, I just Lauren, please don't go up here and embarrass yourself like that. What?
Somebody's in a wedding dress and somebody's leaving that. Like, but who knows? It could be just one of the weddings that doesn't make it or whatever. Somebody's leaving.
True.
But maybe I'll rewind and get like whose hair color? Like, I don't know.
So last thing was, I don't know if you guys heard, but Brittany did get engaged to another cast member, and we were not given the opportunity to see at least conversations with her other match.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah,
with one of the other black men in the
yeah.
pods. So I don't know, maybe during the reunion thing when they go to the bar, we'll see, hopefully we'll be able to see her talk about him a little bit, and about like what made them connect. But she did get
Probably
engaged.
not. Cause they just drop off like when they just act like the other all these seasons when other couples get engaged, they just act like they don't exist.
Well, alrighty, y'all. So that is it for this week's recap. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe so you can tune in to the rest of the recaps. We also have recaps for The Bachelor and Harlem, if that is a TV show that you watch. Other than that, we are Black Girls Talking TV on all platforms. Give us a follow and a share, and we will see you in the next episode.
All right, bye.